Welcome back to our series on more SQL. In the last video, we were talking about aggregate functions. In this video, we're going to move toward the group by and having clauses of an SQL statement. So let us proceed. In many cases, we want to apply the aggregate functions to subgroups of tuples in a relation, where the subgroups are based on some attribute values. For example, we may want to find the average salary of employees in each department, or the number of employees who work on each project. In these cases, we need to partition the relation into subsets or groups of tuples. Each group, or partition, will consist of the tuples that have the same value of some attribute or attributes, called the grouping attributes. We can then apply the function to each group independently to produce the summary information about each group. SQL has a group by clause for this purpose. The group by clause specifies the grouping attributes, which should also appear in the select clause, so the value resulting from applying each aggregate function to a group of tuples appears along with the value of the grouping attribute. In Q24, the employee tuples are partitioned into groups, each group having the same value for the grouping attribute dno. Therefore, each group contains the employees who work in the same department. The count and average functions are applied to each group of tuples. And notice that the select clause includes only the grouping attribute and the aggregate functions to be applied to each group. So let's take a look at it. Query 24. For each department, retrieve the department number, the number of employees in the department, and their average salary. All right, the select statement chooses the department number. It's a count, which is going to count the number of tuples, and the average of the salary attribute. Now here's what the query does. The query pulls up these records. That does not mean it displays them, but it retrieves these records, and the group by, notice, from employee, group by dno, the group by function puts them in department number order. And this is actually the display, what is retrieved from the query. The dno, the count, and the average, dno and count. So department 5 has 4 employees, and the average salary is $33,250. 4 has 3 employees, average salary 31, and department number 1 has 1 employee with an average salary of $55,000. When joining relations, the grouping and any functions in the select statement are applied after joining the two relations. Sometimes we want to retrieve values of these functions only for groups that satisfy certain conditions. It's sort of like the where statement that we've been using quite often in the past. SQL provides a having clause which can appear in conjunction with the group by clause for this purpose. Having provides a condition, same way that the where clause does, provides a condition on the summary information regarding the group of tuples associated with each value of the grouping attributes. Only the groups that satisfy the condition are retrieved in the result of the query. This is illustrated in query 26. Notice that while the selection conditions in the where clause limits the tuples to which functions are applied, the having clause serves to choose whole groups. Let's take a look at it. Query 26. For each project on which more than 2 employees work, retrieve the project number, the project name, and the number of employees who work on the project. So here it is. Select project number, project name, and a count, counting records, from the two tables, project and work zone. And you'll recall that project is a project with a project ID, a project description, and perhaps some other information. Work zone is a record for each employee that's working on that project. From project and work zone, where project number equal project P number, no, so that's the same value in two different tables. Group by project number and project name, having a count of greater than 2. So it's going to have 2 employees at least in the work zone. Let's see how this looks. Here is what is displayed. Here is what was queried. And as you can see, every one of these projects had more than one record or more than one employee. And here is what is displayed. Product Y had 3 employees. Computerization had 3 employees. Reorganization had 3 employees. And new benefits had 3 employees. Now, what would have also been displayed would have been the project number, but it is not being displayed in this particular graphic. But that query would have pulled the project number and the project name and the total number of employees in each project. Well, now that was a good one. So let's take a break. We need a mystery word. We've been talking about having, so let's make having our mystery word. Go ahead, submit your mystery word. Go check your knowledge on the information covered in this video and come back for the next video in the series.